It's August 5th, 2021. I'm sorry, it's August 6th, 2021. I'm just watching public access TV. I went for the morning walk with the umbrella, the parasol, and on comes this. Now, I did this morning, earlier, I did what's going on for me in health ministry as far as electrolysis, supermagnets, and the disintegration of health network being now not healthy at all. Almost like being a rag doll, which I know is kind of comical since I'm Ragnar's wife, but whatever, being Hela in Ragnarok, being like a rag doll, Raggedy Ann, on a clothesline that's been let go, and now all of a sudden it's really, really hard to stay upright marionette style by myself. What it does is it tends to distend the like I can pull in my abdomen, but for the most part I had to have my stomach sutured and with stitches in order to keep my gut inside of my rib cage to try to help with the breathing. It worked for a while until I had the next son, or the next child, and then once the last child came, the incontinence, everything came back again. It's horrible. But it shouldn't have to be like, I shouldn't have to have an internal corset put in just to be able to stand upright and walk myself around. This is not what being human is for, or what it's like. But here we are. So I turn this on and it says something about Othernet. Now, I'm talking about personal experience, what I'm going through, and the problem with the breakout of populations and the break into certain industry by people that shouldn't know about things. So now I've got Othernet going on, and a college kid that's now from 2 generations from elsewhere of doctorate or college of some sort, or some community that has some doctorates that actually take them in early in some kind of religious institution of defense, and then they teach them very early on what they need to do, what things mean, what they look like. I mean, they build a structure of where the reality is and what they want the future for their people to be like. He is not genetically related to my kind. So now, why is it that that was established before I got here and before Lewis and Linda got here elsewhere, and now it's in America, in New York, or at least has access to New York within my life frame, and I still don't have any white people at all? No network, no physicians that know physics, nobody to bounce ideas off of health ministry wise, no contacts at a news media, a bank, nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Let's watch what this guy has to say about an Othernet instead of the internet, the Othernet. Because let's define the internet. The internet for me is just painted. I already had an out of this world meeting with some guy who goes by the name, I mean, at one point it was Pedro, then it went to Diego, and I'm like, that sounds like really ethnically Hispanic. I was like, am I going to get in trouble for you calling yourself that? I was like, no, because I've already been to other area planning, and it is a real nightmare the way that this is all converging. I was like, so I know you need a name to protect yourself in out of this world undercover when we have a meeting, but it seems like my cover's blown when I go back and everybody's just pointed at me to like verify, but also to amplify my hurt secretly, although they all know each other from multiple dimensions and multiple area and a multi-complexion of dangerous scientists and companies and funding source.
With this feeling that the internet has been paved over by large information monopolies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix.
Right, it's just painted. It's a painted service. That's it. That's timed to precision to what I need in a moment.
And an alternative network might look like if it was.
So what he's saying is he's labeling it with this word, which I'm not ascribing to just him once you see what he looks like, because they're part of the problem, but on a much larger scale that I'm not going into. There's damage to my human. There's damage to other humans. I'm not bringing other humans and pointing them out in the area for biological damage at the moment. I'm sticking to my own biological damage, so there's no fucking question. I said it is what it is. I told you the science that's infiltrated and a breach of security. There is no fucking tactical stumbling blocks anywhere for somebody to take an action and fucking move. So now here we are in another network for infant structure. It moves from a radiological tower, it goes to an office building, and then it goes onto the inside, and then it goes through the Ethernet, and then it goes through the wire, if that makes you feel better, and then magically to the phone. Right, got it, okay, great. But I mean, it works a lot more complicated than this, but let's keep it simple.
Was owned by the community, and if it helped the community kind of express itself.
Wanted owned by the community, not on your best fucking day.
There will be more civil discourse, or that
more civil discourse. Bullets work faster. For anybody who interferes with the health, safety, welfare, and security.
But really, it hasn't.
I don't need a community to get clearance on that.
So another thing I want from this residency is to have
from a residency. He gets residency.
Networks actually do
provide this. So on this residency, because I don't get paid to live in New York. I don't get paid to live in New York. I'm being harmed by social biochemists, social bioengineers, sociopaths, sociopathic shitheads, kids like him that dream up ways to rule and run the world and then have ultimate say. I mean, it's a real fucking disaster story. If I could segregate my genetic look to just myself in a time capsule and never have to integrate ever again, that's like a dream come true, I swear.
Outlet that the internet can't provide, and can kind of.
Why does he get a residency and paid for the same fucking shit I already said and was already known?
These pretty large-scale projects, even ones that involve building infrastructure. The hard part is actually going into the communities and selling this thing and making people want.
Why are you selling, and why are you building infrastructure? Just curious. Who invited you into this project? Because I know it wasn't me. And I'm emancipated at this point. I have no mother, I have no father. I fell out of fucking vagina into a foxtrot, which means it was already confirmed before I got here.
Actually thinking that they can build.
That's what foxtrot means. T, and then it's R-O-T. Rot means red in German. I-beam. Oh, and it's NYX. Oh my god. It is Goddess Nyx. Yeah, it is. NYX. Imagine that. And now, the thing is that his altruism, shining through in that, infomercial, he's more of a docile, animate of human, which does not bother me, just his one individual. What does bother me is the entire community that hides and throws the one good child out and is like a bait to the rest of the committee to leave the sociopaths in his own society still standing because they have one good kid. Doesn't work that way. At least it's not supposed to work that way. But you kiddos at Humans and running shit, it's been a real shit show. This life frame of 1978 in the century 19 leading into century 20. This is year 21. It's a problem. I'm ancient. I'm ancestry. I'm ancestral. I'm antiquity. I've been ultraves. I'm Paleo-Hebrew. Like, I'm before modern Judea. I know that they even talked about the Greeks, Alexander, before they broke the Greeks and went into the Romer, Roemer problem, and called it the Roman, Roman. They talk of him, I heard some white guy today on TV in the Christian chapter. They acknowledge the fact that Alexander's reign was broken from Greek, switched into the Roman, which is a problem. And the Roman is into bestiality and into all sorts of things, which is Jason Peter Romer. I mean, they put him in a police job, but he's not private security police like International and Interpol. He is the dumbest, fucking most useless piece of shit American. I mean, he just is. And then that becomes a problem because then he becomes a liability, if you know how international policing works. And then safety and security of, like, the National Guard that you need, integrated with Royal Guard that you need, then gets compromised. People tell the wrong story, they think the wrong thing about someone. This is a small circle. I'm everything correct and good in the world, as is Alexander, and as is my little son Anthony. Everything else is corrupted, including Linda, Lewis, Anthony, 1975, and Jason, 1976. Everything else, not to be trusted. Their pieces just don't fit because you're already down the wrong avenue. So if, like, this mythological, like, Arab peace treaty with some, like, small community of 5 million Jews is ever going to work, it's myself, Alexander, and Cat Scratch. That's it. It's the three of us. There is no Daniel. Get the fuck over it. There is no Benjamin. Not the way that you fucking pushed this. There is no Lee. Tommy Lee Jones. And there's nothing that you should expect out of a Jason. That's it. I need stripped down, back to basic brass tacks. I need Alexander. I need Cat Scratch and Mom, which is myself. I'm the Vixen, VI. I'm the Soviet. I'm the La Vie. I'm the life that gave life to the only two, actually, at the moment that matter, which is Alexander and Cat Scratch. Because they're my exact genetic adornments and accoutrements that I grew in my genetic Scandinavian Copenhagen copying machine, being my genetic womb. Without, I mean, like, what do you want to, I mean, I know that you refer to Jason Peter Romer, 1976, as the Turk. Like, he's the Turks and Caicos Turk. He's not like the good Turkish people, but then that gets upsetting in, like, really scary places, so I don't even reference that, but you should know, in case somebody's still arguing over something. Jason's the big-headed, ugly thing from that book, because Alexander in Constantinople is the gorgeousness of Turkish everything, and has nothing, no affiliation whatsoever. That's why we call it Turks and Caicos. It's the good Turk reference, and then it's the crap that Jason and his Americanness is. Why is this such a hard hurdle for you all to get over in order to fix shit? I mean, like, your family's genetic safety's on the line, and there's, like, a lot of things we could be fixing in, like, a rapido, like, succession, but no, instead, you're just holding on to, like, dumb, useless arguments for no fucking reason, because you read something wrong. And you lost track of like the main piece.